When you think of the ultimate villain of the Bible and of Western culture, in general, you think of Satan. We all have a clear image of him. He is the Prince of Darkness, the ruler of hell, the fallen angel Lucifer, who led a rebellion against God before the dawn of time. He is the god of this world, the tempter who tricked Adam and Eve, and the sworn enemy of humanity. He is the big bad, the anti-god. But what if I told you that this character does not exist in the Old Testament? What if I told you that if you opened the Hebrew Bible and looked for Satan, you wouldn't find a cosmic rebel fighting a war against heaven? Instead, you would find an obedient civil servant, a member of God's own cabinet, a divine prosecutor whose job assigned by God himself was to test human loyalty. How did a loyal attorney general of heaven transform into the terrifying monster of hell? How did the Satan figure evolve from a job title into a proper name? And did the Jewish people invent this Prince of Darkness on their own, or did they borrow him from a completely different religion during a time of national crisis? Today, we are tracking the biography of the devil. We are going to watch him evolve, century by century, from God's lawyer to God's enemy. To understand the original Satan, we first have to check our grammar. In the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, the word Satan appears, but almost always with a definite article, Hasatan. This means the Satan. It is not a name like Bob or Lucifer, it is a title. It means the adversary, or the accuser, or the obstacle. And in the early texts, this isn't a bad thing. Exhibit A. Balaam's donkey, Numbers 22, the first time the word appears as a noun describing a supernatural figure. It is used for the angel of the Lord. The prophet Balaam is riding his donkey to go curse Israel. God is angry. So, the text says, the angel of the Lord took his stand in the way as an adversary. Against him, here, the Satan is a good guy. He is the angel of the Lord, blocking a sinner. Being a Satan just means being an obstacle in someone's path. Exhibit B, the courtroom of Job, Job 1-2. This is the most famous appearance. The scene opens in heaven. In the divine council, the sons of God, angels, present themselves to Yahweh, and among them comes Hasatan. God asks him, "Where have you been?" The Satan replies, "Roaming through the earth and going back and forth in it." He sounds like a spy, or a roving prosecutor, and that is exactly his job. He is the divine district attorney. His role in the cosmic administration is to patrol the earth, look for disloyalty, and report back to the king. When God praises Job, Hasatan does his job. He objects. He challenges the witness. Does Job fear God for nothing? He asks. You paid him off. Take away his stuff, and he will curse you. Crucially, he asks for permission. He cannot touch Job without God's sign-off. He is not a rebel. He is a subordinate. He is the loyal opposition, tasked with quality control. He is cynical, sure, but he is on God's payroll. Exhibit C. The high priest, Zechariah 3. We see this again in the prophet Zechariah. There is a vision of a heavenly courtroom. Joshua, the high priest, is on trial, and the Satan stood at his right hand to accuse him. Again, he is the prosecutor. He is standing in the correct legal position. So, for most of the Old Testament, there is no devil, there is only God. God causes good, and God causes calamity. Isaiah mpapulima banding tuju. The Satan is just the guy in the office who handles the accusations department. So when did he go rogue? The change happens during the Second Temple period. This was a time of trauma. The Jewish people had been conquered, exiled to Babylon, and then lived under Persian and Greek rule. And during this time, they faced a massive theological problem, theodicy. If God is good, and God is in charge, why are his people suffering? Why are the wicked Greek tyrants winning? It became harder and harder to believe that a good God was personally sending all these disasters. They needed a scapegoat. They needed a fall guy. Enter the Persians. When the Jewish people lived under the Persian Empire, they were exposed to the Persian religion, Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism was a dualistic religion. They believed the universe was a battlefield between two equal uncreated forces: Ahura Mazda, the god of light and goodness, Angra Mainyu, the spirit of darkness and evil. In this system, God never does evil. Evil comes from the bad guy. This idea was incredibly attractive. It solved the problem of evil. Jewish thinkers didn't become Zoroastrians, but they adopted the structure. They started to fire God from the department of bad things and promote a new cosmic supervillain to take the blame. We can actually see this retcon happen in the Bible itself. The smoking gun of theology. Look at two versions of the same story. 2 Samuel 24:1 written earlier. The anger of the Lord burned against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, "Go and take a census." 1 Chronicles 21:1 written centuries later, post-exile. Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census. Do you see it? The chronicler rewrote the history. He was uncomfortable with God tempting David, so he swapped in Satan. But here, Satan has no article. It is becoming a proper name. He is stepping out of the heavenly court and becoming an independent agent of trouble. But a prosecutor isn't scary enough. To become the devil, Satan needed an army and a backstory. He got it from the Book of Enoch. During this same period, Jewish writers were obsessed with Genesis 6, the weird story about sons of God sleeping with human women. The Book of Enoch expands this into a full-blown mythology. It names the leader of these rebel angels Shemihaza, or Azazel. These watchers are cast out of heaven. They teach humans sorcery and war. They are the source of corruption. Gradually, the figure of the Satan, the accuser, merged with the figure of Azazel. He absorbed the traits of the bad guys. He became the leader of the fallen angels. He became the enemy of God, not just the prosecutor of men. He became Belial, the prince of darkness. By the time of Jesus, the stage was set. The prosecutor had become the warlord. When we open the New Testament, the transformation is complete. Satan is no longer an employee. He is a rival king. He has a kingdom. Jesus says, if Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can his kingdom stand? Matthew 12:26. He owns the world. In the temptation in the wilderness, Satan shows Jesus all the kingdoms of the world and says, I will give you all their authority, for it has been given to me. Luke 4:6. Note, Jesus doesn't dispute this. He accepts that Satan is currently the landlord of earth. He is the god of this age. Paul calls him the god of this world who blinds the minds of unbelievers to cor quattro quattro. The New Testament writers needed a powerful enemy to make Jesus' victory meaningful. If Jesus is the ultimate hero, he needs an ultimate villain. The Satan of Job wouldn't cut it. They needed the dragon of Revelation. And finally, in Revelation 12, the loop is closed. John of Patmos explicitly links all the bad guys together. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. This is the grand unification theory of evil. The snake in Eden, that was him. The accuser in Job, that was him. The day star in Isaiah, him. The dragon, him. The backstory was retroactively applied to the whole Bible. The character arc was complete. But wait, where are the red horns, the goat legs, the pitchfork? None of that is in the Bible. For the final phase of Satan's evolution, we have to look at folklore and art. As Christianity spread into Europe, it ate the local gods. Pan, the Greek god of the wild, had goat legs, horns, and a goatee. Christians looked at him and said, that looks like a demon. Satan got Pan's legs. Hades, the Greek god of the underworld, held a bident. Satan got the pitchfork. The red dragon, from Revelation, gave him the red skin. And the idea that Satan rules hell, that he is the king of the torture chamber. Also not in the Bible. The Bible says hell is a place where Satan is punished, not where he is in charge. He is a prisoner, not the warden. That idea comes from Dante's Inferno and Milton's Paradise Lost. These literary giants gave Satan his personality, the brooding, proud, Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, anti-hero. They turned the ugly monster into a complex, tragic figure. So, who is Satan? He is a composite character, a layer cake of 3,000 years of human anxiety. He started as the prosecutor, a function of God's justice. He became the enemy, an explanation for the world's suffering. He became the monster, a face for our fears. This brings us to the final fascinating debate. On one side, the traditional view, is this evolution simply progressive revelation? Did God slowly pull back the curtain? Was the prosecutor just a mask that the true evil Satan wore until Jesus arrived to expose his true nature? Did we just get better at seeing the bad guy? On the other side, the critical view, or did we invent the devil because we let God off the hook? Did the monotheistic idea of a God who causes both good and calamity become too emotionally difficult to bear? Did we create a bad God to protect the reputation of the good God? Is Satan a real being, or is he the ultimate personification of our own struggle to understand why the world is broken? Let me know your thoughts, respectfully, in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into the history of evil fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that uncovers the real stories behind our beliefs. Thanks for watching.